Hallelujah! How's it going? My name is Blessious, and Destiny 2's beta is just a couple days away. We just gotta get through this weekend and a Monday, and boom! It's here about on a noon, at least for me, on a Tuesday. So, IGN has been giving us tidbits about Destiny 2 since last week, and I'm so appreciative about it because, well, it just gets me more and more excited to play that beta, let alone the full game. And they go in, they show the sounds of Destiny. I figured we would watch it together.
For us, it's always been about trying to make sure that we have really unique sounds on all the assets that go into the game.
I do like the sound of that.
Some of those weapons you pick up and you fire them, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the fun stuff.
This is wonderful!
There's one that has a whip crack sound to it. Love the sound of that one.
Wait. A whip crack sound? Is that the return of the Chaperone? Is the Chaperone coming back? Because the Chaperone was the shotgun in Destiny 1 that you shot, and if you landed a headshot and, well, just reloaded it real quick, it'd make a whip crack sound, so. Is Chaperone confirmed?
Is it a weapon you're firing, or is it a weapon somebody else is firing? What type of environment are you in? How far away is the weapon being fired from you? So we work really carefully to try to make sure that the weapon is very visceral when it's in your hands, but it sounds appropriate when it's in somebody else's hands.
I think Bungie's always did a good job.
We also did something really different in Destiny for PvP, where we actually changed the mix entirely in PvP versus single player, and we try to make sure that you hear your enemies more than you hear your own teammate stuff. So you want to be able to make sure that you're warned when your enemy's targeting you and firing in your direction.
Dude, that's what's up. That is what's up. I really like the idea of that. And did you see that ArcStrider
role
just take out
to
the
support the emotion of the story or the experience? And so we try not to tell the player what to feel, but we try to imply it in a way that enhances the experience without going over the top. And that's a really fine line that we try not to cross, and you want to be able to listen to it and enjoy it just for the music in some cases, but in the context of the game it has to really support the gameplay or it's not doing its job.
Heck yeah. From what I've heard so far, everything sounds amazing. The dubious volley, hell yeah.
There's a couple sounds and the picking up of the engrams and so on and so forth, like once you hit on the right thing, those sounds go through as much iteration or more than almost any sounds in the game. They're very difficult to land on. And once you land on them, you're like, that's the one.
EOE, baby. And the chest, it's like a piano. And the quartet, I forgot about the quartet. That's how I got my Galahorn.
We work really carefully to make sure that the treasure chests and the stuff that you pick up on the ground, that stuff is really compelling and
Boltzmann!
Zen Meteor! I got Zen Meteor! Galahorn! Yes!
If you want to make that sound that the players are going to latch onto every time they pick up something cool in the game, you want to make it so the players that immediately that they know exactly what that is, and brings out, you know, their excitement level.
Oh, I got it! Got it!
Oh, getting excited about the Scarab emblem.
There's definitely got to be a balance between that feel that Destiny 1 set out and making it new. And so there are some actual recurring melodies from Destiny 1 that people will hear in Destiny 2, but there's also new melodies that convey the same feel in a different way, or the same mood, or the same vibe. We have a palette that fits each destination in the game, but then there's also a pre-existing palette for the combatant types, and so we've tried to support both of those things with the music.
I can't wait to get in
a way that doesn't exclude one or the other. So you may be on a location that has a specific feel, but then there's Hive in that location, and so the music has to say both in its own way.
Oh, that's cool. Like the musical blend.
In the sound design side, where we tend to have ambience that, like, hey, this is just straight up ambience, it's the sound of wind in the trees, it's birds or whatever, but other times we tend to use things that have a little bit more interesting sound to them, might be a little bit tonal, and we can actually put those in a certain bus.
Oh, a bunch of Rasputins, I saw that.
Here, let's get that stuff out of the mix. And we can actually basically say, hey, give over this particular stuff, allow it to give it room to the music guys.
Allow me to reacquaint you.
Freaking Gull, Gary Glenn Gill.
Cinematic mixes in this game so far. I can't wait for people to hear them.
Ooh, that Nova Bomb.
I think it'll speak for itself, but we put a lot of
pole
passion
dancer
and love into it, and I hope that comes across.
I'm glad that they're showing pole dancers. IGN, I salute you.
First on Destiny 2. If you like Destiny, make sure
I
to
believe
check out
that's CJ. And CJ, if you edited this, and you did a good job, man.
And don't
if you don't know, Fireteam Chat is something that IGN puts together with Destiny with Gary. Fran and also CJ, and they talk Destiny stuff, and I think they took a little feedback of everyone being like, oh, hunters aren't gonna be anything, hunters are left behind, hunters, they're not gonna be good, it's all about Sentinel and Nova Bomb and Dawn Blades. Thank you for showing us that Arc Strider and it kicking some ass, because personally, I think I might just make a hunter to prove people that are saying hunters aren't good wrong, because they look really interesting. I like the little tidbits that we got to see, whether it was like the Rasputin machines, them hinting at treasure chests. The one thing that I did really like in Destiny was specifically the Prison of Elders chest, because I totally forgot about that. But it was, I remember the first time that you get down there and you're excited and you were granted your first exotic, well, you're granted an exotic definitely in the chest. And then you open it up, bring, 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 and you hear the string quartet. That was awesome. And for me, that's how I got my Galahorn. So I was just really, really so excited to see that just being something featured in there with what they're talking about. So they did kind of hint about a weapon that makes a whip crack that does kind of sound like the Chaperone. For sure it does. Other than that, I mean, I think it's really interesting that they're tuning sound differently for story and PvE differently than PvP. And it all makes sense that you get to hear your, you know, enemies, so it gets a little bit more competitive, it's easier to learn. That's really cool. I just really like the fact that they're really tuning PvE and PvP differently in all aspects. I think that is something that I think might have been on the forefront in development, where like they're like, hey, we need to keep them separate, because both are in the right what people come to the game for. I'm more of a PvP guy, but I love to do PvE. I'm sure there's a vice versa people too. And I don't know. I'm just really excited about this. I'm excited about seeing from Arc Strider, the pole dancer, just go around with the pole, pew, 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 going Darth Maul over everything. I like that. And I don't know. I just need the game. I need to hear the tunes. I might just load up. I just might load up the Destiny 2 beta and just sit here listening to that sweet, sweet music. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want more Destiny content, why not subscribe to the channel? And also, if you wanted your chance at a beta key, let me know down in the comments by saying, holy taco, where art thou, my holy taco beta key? It's a long one, but I will give you a beta key. I'll do it within the 24 hours to one lucky person. Alright, until next time, guys, Cowabunga!